Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So, over 2 years ago, I made a video called Dating Jugs by Their Handles, where I explained about the different ways jug handles were made, the way they were made from top to bottom. So you'd make a strip of glass, attach it at the top of the jug, pull it round and stick it at the bottom. Or the bottom to top, where in actual fact what they would do is they'd put a blob of glass on, stretch it, and then stick it at the top. And and this transition, so I'd been looking in books and looking at bits of catalogue, manufacturers' catalogues within the books, and it seemed to happen during the 1870s. Now, the main reference I was using there was the sequence of catalogues from Whitefriars in the Whitefriars Museum of London book. And that seemed to have a very obvious demarcation where you kind of went into the 1870s with everything going from top to bottom. And then during the 1870s, it was a mishmash. And then when you came out the other end, everything was bottom to top. But since then, I've bought a bunch of books, retail catalogues from the Victorian era, and they have a sequence of years. I've got sort of like a early 1870s, and I've got 1883, then I've got something from a page from 1890, and I've got something from 1900, and it's not quite like that. Not quite. There are exceptions. And the exception seems to be claret jugs, which seem to hang on to the top to bottom a bit longer. So I thought I'll show you a couple of claret jugs where I can show you the difference. Yeah. And then we'll go on and we'll have a look. I've selected some pages out of these catalogues, and they show you how that transition still in the 1870s, but that the jugs went first and the claret jugs went after. Yeah, those claret jugs, they were just a bit scared of it, obviously, and so I think actually as a style, the top to bottom, the old one, which is actually not as strong, is a bit more elegant. So maybe that's why they stuck with it. I think it looks better. It's just not as strong, and it breaks. I've acquired a whole bunch of glass from someone, and yeah, most of the jugs, the top to bottom ones, are broken, cracked through the handle, and that is the common feature of them. And for those, the bulk of them will just end up in the bin, honestly, because as a dealer, broken handle is, 95% of the value disappeared. It's, unless you glue it or do something with it, it's likely to go. In fact, one of them, it came off completely. The whole handle just came off while I was transporting it, or while it was being packed or something. So yeah, it's just not a very strong proposition. So I'll show you a couple of jugs and then we'll get on and have a look at a few catalogue pages. Yeah. These are the two jugs I was telling you about. This is the old-fashioned way of doing it. You can see it's lodgings of glass has been pulled and stretched and stuck at the bottom. If I go close, you can see this bit here has been pressed. You can see actually it squashed the twisted bits as well. And then this one has been done the other way. So you can see where the round blob of glass has been stuck on there, pulled and stretched, and it's been pressed here at the top. Ignore this bit, this is a miser jug, it just has that as a feature. And there's a film on those if you want to look it up. So yeah, so that's the two things. So this one would be from the end of the 1800s and possibly into the Edwardian period, and this one will be earlier, as you'll see when we start going through the stuff in these retail catalogues. So we won't know the makers of anything because these are retail catalogues, not manufacturers' catalogues. Starting at looking at the Victorian pattern glass and china book. It's a catalogue from the retailer Silber and Fleming from the 1870s. And if you look here, you've got this claret jug here, and it's got the top to bottom handle, and in the same service you've got this jug here, and it is the bottom to top handle. Okay, and you've got the same here, you've got this jug bottom to top, and this claret jug top to bottom. Also, I have another page from this catalogue. It's this one, and in this one everything is from top to bottom, so even the jug is done in the old-fashioned way. And in fact, this little friller here, it says, yeah, this is a bit old school. And this, yeah, same, a newer shaped claret jug here, but still with the old handle. Yeah, so this is a bit aesthetic movement, but then still got a top to bottom handle. This has got a top to bottom handle as well. So here we are with the 1870s. I think it's like about 73 or 74 or something like that, mid 70s I think. This book is the Victorian Catalogue of Household Goods by Dorothy Bosomworth. And yeah, so we start in, I've got 4 pages because this is from 1883. It's Silber and Fleming again, but we'll see that things have moved on a bit. So we've got 3 claret jugs, all from top to bottom. So we're in 1883, so theoretically the transition has happened. If we go to the next page, this one here, you can see all these jugs, they're all handles going from bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top. So this is the new way. All the jugs have all converted over now. Got more pages of this. What have I got? Oh, hang on. What am I doing? This is where I want to go. And again, we've got one jug, which is top to bottom. It looks like an 1860s style jug, and I would have said it was earlier, but yeah, so we've got one, but then we've got this one down here, bottom to top, and this is actually one that was in the 1870s catalogue as well. And then what else have we got? We've got this one here, and again we've got this one here, top to bottom, bottom to top in this service. But in this service here, there's a claret jug, and it is bottom to top. So that is the first claret jug that we've seen amongst all of them. That is the new way. Okay, so let's move on a bit. So now we're looking at a page from the catalogue of Hampton and Sons from 1890s. This book is called the Victorian Catalogue of Household Furnishings, I should say. And what we've still got a claret jug, that's top to bottom, but all the jugs are bottom to top. Yeah, so we've got one more to do, which is on the cusp of the century. We're looking at the book Edwardian Shopping, a selection from the Army Navy Stores Catalogues 1898 to 1913, compiled by R.H. Lanbridge. And yeah, so we've got a page of jugs here. All of the jugs are done in the new way. So yeah, looks like at least by the time you get to the 1890s, everything is being done this way. The old way is dead, theoretically. I still have something from 1900 that's done the old way, but it is actually copying a Regency glass, so it's a direct copy of a Regency glass, and that's why. But anyway, all these jugs are this way, and then if we go to this page here, all the claret jugs that they've got here are all done in the new way as well. So yeah, at least everything at the Army and Navy stores is done in the new way. There's nothing left being done the old way, where the handle is attached from the top to the bottom. So yeah, it's a big change. So there you have it. So these rules are not tight as I thought they were. Bit timey-wimey, wishy-washy, or whatever it is Doctor Who said. But yeah, it is what it is. And it seems like jugs seem to be more fixed. By the time you get to 1880, pretty much most jugs were doing it in the new fashion. There was only one that I found that wasn't. Yeah, and I thought while I'm here, I would show you some, because I did buy a pile of glass from somebody, and it was just like a real mixed bag of stuff. And only one jug didn't have a broken handle. It's this one, which is a lot like the ones we were looking at in those catalogues. You can see it has this lovely handle here that fixes at the bottom. Not very valuable, not very commercial. Nobody really thinks that, because I'll look at the top here. Can you see it's got this notch in? This is usually something you see from Georgian Edwardian period. So, I mean, Georgian Regency period. So, yeah, this is going to be early Victorian probably, with this notch at the top to grip on, help you tip. So, unusual from that point of view, even though the handles in the old-fashioned way, normally they were just like a solid bar, or if they do have anything cut at the top, it's not a notch, it's just like a little flat piece. But anyway, so yeah, so that makes this look a bit earlier. Let me put that down, and then I'll show you a couple of broken ones. So this would have been absolutely lovely, but can you see this crack running through here? Yeah, there's no stopper for it. This is a claret jug, but there is. You can actually see it's rough fitted, and this would have been earlier. I think I pointed out something earlier where you've got this frill. It usually indicates something earlier. So this is probably from the 1830s or 40s. But not only has it got bloom, but it's got this crack, and it's worth almost nothing. You know, it's only kind of like academically interesting just to have something to hold and look at that's from that period. Then I have this other one. So this one is actually a jug. It looks like a claret jug, but you can see it's a bit wider here. But look, it's got this horrible crack running right across the bottom here. So that's a dead one too. And this is probably from the 1830s or 40s as well. It's very odd, that period. And yeah, with a fully pouring lip. Yeah, so that's a very sad one. I really like this one, but I think I might even be able to place a manufacturer for this. I think it's someone like Webb Richardson or someone like that. I've seen something like this, but anyway, yeah, it's very sad. But those, even how thick that handle is still cracked. Anyway. What do I need to tell you? I need to tell you that yeah, all the references I use will be in the description below if you want to go out and buy these books. So when I did the first film back in July 2022, which seems like forever ago, yeah, I only had the Edwardian shopping book, which kind of like confirmed my thoughts of, oh yeah, by the time you get to here, blah, blah, blah. And I've bought those other ones since then. And just, I was flicking through them for something else, as you do. And yeah, I noticed, and I noticed this a while ago, actually, quite a while ago. And I was thinking, yeah, I need to do a follow-up and show that that it's not that 100% as you think it is. And so you then also you're going to have to fall back on style as well. Yeah, for claret jugs, you're going to have that feel. And you can see that by the turn of the century, they did actually look very different than the ones that were earlier in the century. But it's again, you need the references and you need to learn it. So it's hard. And he jumps because I nearly forgot to say, please remember to like and subscribe because it helps my channel. And have a good night. Good night.